and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hanfler and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We not only review shows formerly known as NXT 2Play. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course.
Roundup of the week.
Wrestle culture. But as I said, joined by Hanfler and Sidgwick to review the last ever episode of NXT on the USA Network, and what a way to sign off it was.
5 great years, went out on top, never really left, did it? 2019, NXT wrestlers getting talked about by CM Punk on Backstage. 2024, NXT wrestlers getting talked about by CM Punk Backstage. So everything stayed the same, if you ask me. The old safe standard and stable of NXT.
That NXT, eh?
Right.
I love how they've went 5 wonderful years. And then a video package, which we'll get to in due course. And it's like, right, okay, well, if you want to tell the real story about what happened on NXT, the USA Network years, is that it was a little bit out of date by the time it premiered. Mm-hmm. The shows, I know you were a fan early, but I think the formula started to wear a little bit thin, and it felt significantly less like a real wrestling alternative when a real wrestling alternative actually debuted as a competing show. They got their asses kicked.
Sometimes.
Every time except one.
Well, if you believe the figures.
In the demo. Why do you not believe the figures, Adam?
Back then, nowadays, a lot more. I feel a lot more reassured by the numbers that are coming out. So, just saying, you feel like this.
Heads we win, tails you lose. So they kind of just glossed over, well, it didn't really work out. It was actually humiliating. So humiliating that you must be punished. And we'll rebrand the show. We'll make it more insane and sex-having than ever. And then we'll calm down a bit, sadly, and then we'll get totally boring slop like we were served last night.
Disagree.
Big fan of Lexis King in the club matches, are you?
I did actually quite like the club match.
Oh, it was mercifully short.
And, well, that Tony D story is just got me hooked. And the show started with someone I really like as well, with Kelani Jordan, the North American champion. I think she's doing a great job facing up against the leader of, I suppose, the Ren QCC, Ren Sinclair. Jordan hit a dive onto Ren for a break. When we come back, Jordan's in trouble, but she hits a slingshot drop kick, but misses a frog splash. And Sinclair grabs a gut-wrench suplex, and Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights, who are there at ringside alongside Charlie Dempsey, popping their tits off. They were loving this. In the end, Jordan lands on the floor outside in front of the no-quarter catch-through, and they taunt her, but Sinclair goes for a high cross off the top and just takes out Bourne and Heights instead. Jordan chucks Sinclair back in the ring, hits a kick, split leg and moonsault, 1, 2, 3. Fun opener, this.
Yeah, I agree. NXT likes to brag about its stacked division, but that's mostly because it's got about like 60 women on the show, 50 of which typically feature in one backstage segment, while the other 10 are pushed.
Hey, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's it. That's why they say it's stacked. But these are two of the actual, this is the top end of the division. I said this yesterday, I really just earnestly like this Kelani Jordan North American title reign as a way to establish a secondary women's title in a division that can actually support one. She was the best choice. The matches of, they're consistently good, and she has shown flashes of great, which is where you need to be if you're a secondary champion looking to burst through.
In developmental.
Yeah, in developmental, yeah. Ren Sinclair has shone in this gimmick. And it makes me wonder sometimes if there are a lot more decent wrestlers hiding under the characters that are given in NXT, because sometimes you honestly can't tell until the daft character gives them the opportunity to have the matches. But Ren Sinclair, you can see why they've identified her for their little version of BCC, because she's one of the wrestler ones. But then it's like, well, yeah, but that's really boring. So it's like, right, well, we'll give her a funny gimmick and then it'll get over. And it has. So yeah, this is like top end of the division stuff. And Kelani Jordan, somebody I look forward to watching wrestle in 2024 on the show. Genuinely. Kind of out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Uneven. is how I would describe this match. There was some quite nice, fluid, pure wrestling exchanges and roll-ups and such. And Ren Sinclair, again, you can't really analyze this show. You can't do it because you can't really talk about the quality of wrestling because there's a floor and a ceiling, and they're not too far away from each other. In fact, well, they are, but the ceiling ain't that high. So when you're saying, oh, it was competent, it was adequate, that's kind of what you're looking for out of people who've got like one cage match page. Yeah. So you can't really discuss it in other terms of as a bit of a letdown. It's like, well, there's no expectation. It shouldn't be on television, this program. I would cancel it. Wilborn?
Disagree. Disagree more than I've ever disagreed.
So there were times when, no, it looked good, it looked promising, a bit liquid pro wrestling, and then Ren Sinclair, and again, I feel like an arsehole, she's brand new to this almost, does a bump and feed sequence, and it's very stutter step, like just getting into position way too early, clothesline me, please, and it just takes away your suspension of disbelief. But again, who gives a toss? These people don't even like wrestling, and they shouldn't be really analysed as wrestlers yet. So what am I doing here? Tell me, what am I doing here? And then not everything looked meaty and impactful in terms of the collisions. I did like that spot to the outside. Ren QCC members, is that right?
Yep.
They're called, yeah?
Yeah.
Took a nice bump.
I just love their pop when she hit the old suplex. Yeah, go on.
I think the whole stable has finally come to life this last sort of couple of months.
Way less boring than it ever was. And it was real boring.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. I wouldn't say it's got me feeling a certain kind of way. But, and in fact, I still feel nothing. But I feel less bored.
There you go.
We get a nice montage of interviews talking about the NXT coming to the C-Dub next week. Trick, Shawn Michaels and the like. And then we're over to the NXT press conference with proper journalists and all that.
Why weren't you there then, if you're the one true journalist?
I'm busy last night.
What were you doing?
Looking after my son. So
okay, fair enough.
Page is first, Ethan Page. He's after he's feeling pressure. He says, pressure? What pressure? Pressure's for tires. No, he says pressure comes with the territory as champion. He's always dreamed of carrying a brand on his back, and he's doing it well. The difference is in how he handles pressure, because he's at the top. He's asked what Trick does well. He says Trick's resilient, but he won't beat me. And he's also asked how big of a factor CM Punk will be as a special guest referee. He says Punk's not going to be a factor at all. I personally guarantee that. In fact, I'm going to go and see him and have words. Ooh. Speaking of which, CM Punk is imparting some wisdom on Javon Evans when Trick Williams walks up to him. Trick thanks Punk for stepping in as referee. Says last month's been chaotic. Page is going to try and use every underhanded trick, but I'm not going out like that. Punk knows that. Says, look, I've seen you rise to the top. I won't let Paige cheat, but I won't let you cheat either. I hope you win, but I'm there to see who's the best man. I'm not going to play favourites.
Decent, like, just decent, not amazing or anything, but a decent build to a good title match for the launch episode. Like, they are going to want to try and, it's not like relaunch, I suppose, Trick Williams. His second title reign to be even better than his first one, all that. The stage is going to be so much bigger for him. He's awesome in those big venues. Like, experience this for ourselves at Stand and Deliver, because he's super over and his star power dwarfs his in-ring ability, and that's what matters right now. So, yeah, I thought this was like, it's NXT's biggest match, and this was a decent build for it across the night, I thought.
I will say that I hate it. And AEW have done this before with, can you remember they did something similar when Cody Rhodes and Jake Hager were going to have a TNT title match, and they did a mock press conference thing.
Yeah.
I think they did some kind of cute Easter egg about someone who used a pen name and they pretended that they were there.
Yeah.
That was stupid because that match happened in, I believe, May. No. It would have been June or July 2020. I can't imagine there's pretending that, oh, there's journalists here. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's no one in the buildings. They're not allowed other than the wrestlers. So that was silly. I just didn't buy that there were actual journos there. There might have been. I don't know. They got a Scott.
It was a really odd thing that there was, like you said, you know what, in fact, I'm going to go speak to him right now. And that almost broke the rules of the universe. It's just, they're in the press conference room. As if it's been this room all along in the wacky performance.
I really hate it. It's fake. It's absolutely fake. AEW have done it, hate it. Now that NXT have done it, consistent, hate it. Just didn't believe it at all. You know how you do these things. And I know they're not the hottest by far promotion, but if you're going to do this, just do it all the time and make it part of your world consistently. New Japan.
Yeah. G1 ones.
G1s, and then the push. It's like the snapping bulbs, and because they do it all the time, you can buy it and stuff. And yeah,
it's funny here as well. It's like we're going to do a big press conference, massive show, actually justifies one. Cool. 7 days in the week, 24 hours in the day. When you're thinking the exact same 2 hours as NXT, were you thinking?
Yeah,
they'd be like, so talking at the press conference now. We're not showing it. Obviously, there's wrestling going on, but
significant flaw in that plan.
Just was fake bollocks, isn't it? It's just NXT, isn't it?
I like the variety of accents that they had asking questions, though. Gave it a real genuine quality.
No, it didn't. It made it seem like
I thought it was one person doing all the
like you, like a jet-setting group of really sort of highfalutin pro wrestling.
I'm Scott McStory, and I'm for the Glasgow Herald.
I'm Bobby Byline. And I'm from the Edinburgh Chronicle.
Hi there, I'm Reed. Read all about it.
I want to be more like this now. But it's already not really buying this. Yeah. The idea that they've travelled, a fleet of international journalists have descended upon the Performance Centre for what huge event is this? Or just the last bit of slop on USA Network before they actually try on the CW? Why would they come to this?
They're not even there for their big show next week, are they?
Absolutely dumb as backs of racks.
Then it was time for another great journalist, Grayson bloody Waller, to grill the NXT Tag Team Champions. Waller welcomed us to a very special edition of the Grayson Waller Effect. Said he couldn't wait to leave. He's back where it all started.
I'm stunned. I mean, they've done it before. Why didn't they send up Dave? It's an opportunity right there. You've done it before.
Good track themselves, yeah.
Grayson talked about being back where it all started. I remember him. What was he?
Extreme Salt Star, Shagger, Boxer.
Yeah, he was a thrill-seeking Golden Gloves Shagger.
Yeah.
They were all the Shagger was.
Everyone was a bit of a Shagger.
Everyone was a bit of a Shagger.
Apart from Brooks Jensen, and that was kind of that was his thing.
Yeah.
Everyone else was so much sexy.
He had BJ written on his shirt for his first match in NXT. The clues were always there.
LTST.
Anyone? No? Okay, fair enough.
BJST.
See that English seaside humour postcard. The northeast of England, because our postcards start NE, northeast. So, in Newcastle, for example, it's NE1. Not telling you my new postcode, but I used to live in a postcode area, NE6. It's like northeast 6. You go to a seaside town and you see a postcard, and sure enough, it's got NE1 for a BJ.
Could be a postcode.
Used to live at NE1 too.
I used to live in Blowjob City.
Blowjob Street, Suckoff Town.
The flats, you remember, across from the NE1 to BJ.
No way.
Hand on my heart.
Is that why you picked it?
Yeah.
I don't really care for the flat. Excuse me, that's the postcode.
I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't know that was part of the package. Can I have a sex postcode, please? Thank you very much. That's on my rider. Where are we? Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's a bit anymore.
It's got a reg plate that says 469 at the end.
We're not buying that gun, no. Do you ever see those ones where some people have some have AEW and some have WWE?
Yeah.
And do you ever think, are you aware of what you're doing, what you're driving around?
I love it when you see one of them.
I could get the most affordable car in the world that also happened to be goated. If I had WWE written on, I would still get it. So I'm not a lunatic.
Theory talks about how
I kind of hate looking at my car every single day.
Theory,
but inexplicably, no matter how old and you felt it was quite a tired car, it'd be the most popular car on the road.
I know.
Everyone would love it. They'd flock to come and see it.
Theory talks about how they are the greatest graduates in NXT history. He's a two-time US champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, the man who beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Waller says we're the two men who won the tag titles at WrestleMania. The two men WWE built a pay-per-view around in Australia. And then Waller says, right, let's bring out the guy who looks like Kurt Cobain and the guy who looks like a Power Ranger. Calls them Fraxium. And that is, of course, the tag team champions. That is Axiom.
When I'm cleaning windows.
On particularly dorky form last night, I thought.
He did a shoot reply to
saw
the
this.
old. Remember Ben Carter? It's a bit of a meme format.
It's a joke, yeah.
And he did like a shoot reply, well, actually, in the guy. With like
actually,
bulleted list of things that I've done. Got a bird, got a belt, got a job. Got longer hair. Any more hard-hitting home truths? Because I got them too.
You got about 6 gimmicks.
And it took me 3 seconds to do this tweet because I'm so bloody fast.
Waller apologises for any jokes they may have taken offence for. It says, you'll do great on SmackDown as individual competitors, because let's be honest, the tag team thing isn't working. And Nathan Brazier says, we're fine. You two aren't, though. I only watch SmackDown to see who's going to turn on who. Theory says, what are you talking about? We're fine. And Waller says, yeah, when we beat you, you two are going to be done. But it's a blessing because you are better as singles wrestlers. And Theory says Razor can do his flippy doodah thing and Axiom can do his 630 pretzel.
Damn it.
Axiom says...
Fed stinks.
They didn't...
Yes, Mr. Sidgwick, everything stinks.
They didn't plan to become the Grim Reapers of the NXT tag division. But Fraser says, we're going to send you 6 feet under. And Theory says, I need you to remind you who we are. Every Friday we put everyone down. There are levels to this game. Fraser says, question. Why is it the Grayson Waller effect and not the Grayson Waller and Austin Theory effect? And Theory says, that's a good point, actually. And Waller's like, well, it was like that before we teamed up. And they fake an argument, and then Waller just, bang, cheap shots Fraser, and they beat down the champs and pose with their titles.
6 feet under, tease for the dead man, making his return to NXT, can't wait. But in a more serious pitch, as we kind of discussed yesterday, they have, I don't know, by accident, on purpose, created this scenario where the tag team champions look set to split and then find themselves wrestling tag teams who then split. It's quite a cute bit. And this is number 3. Mm-hmm. Like, they could potentially, this split that they built on television for a while could be given to Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They could actually.
How many have they made to split?
Chase you.
The Wolf Dogs.
Wolf Dogs, Chase you. There was the third.
There is another one, yeah.
Third tag team.
I can't think who it is, but it's, again,
MSK.
Yeah, of course, yeah, they did the split after, because it seemed like MSK would win the match.
How did that sound against Edge? When the split happened with MSK? What did Zach Wentz say?
Shut up, man. Tit. Cringe tit.
Like a cringe tit or whatever.
Like a cringe tit or whatever. Jesus Christ, the worst I've ever seen.
Cringe tit, Boob Monthly. So yeah, I really don't mind this as a tag match, and it's just a continuation of a nice NXT bit. But the thing is, because the bit continues to run, you're like, well, is this the last tag title defense? They're going to beat Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, I think. But when they do beat them, is it the next set of opponents that finally beats them?
Penta Ray or Motor City Machine Guns, maybe.
One or both of those tag teams debuting on NXT in the next 2 weeks for me. Like, oh my God. Lucha Brothers and MCMG.
Apparently, Lucha Brothers are main roster bound.
Yeah.
I'm sure I read that. I hate not being able to source it off the top of my head because people have done some really cool scoop skis, but I can't remember.
I think they should be, but they could just give the debut
away. It's either
Ibu
or Sap at this point.
Yeah. They could give the debut in NXT, couldn't they, as a bit of a treat. Motor City Machine Guns, conversely, was an NXT one, wasn't it, apparently? We're going to go there. Person report.
Well, only 50% of them has ever trained in NXT, so, for one night alongside Kushida. That was another classic moment in the 5 years. Let's not forget that.
Indeed. The one-night reunion of the Time Splitters. And the fabled 2021 Dusty Cup. No, 2020 Dusty Cup. NXT UK.
I was loving this so much. That pendulum was swinging. It's like, AEW finished. I don't really account for that for a year. But this isn't great. I'll just pretend it was good. Nah, it's teething problems. And I was thinking deep down, that December 18 episode did not go well at all. And then, sure enough, next episode was good. And I was like, oh, God, good. That was scary, but they've taken a little break, introspection, done the January 1st episode, and it was incredible, promising again. Well done. Still NXT. That December 18 NXT was pretty good, though. Don't know what's going to happen. And I come to the office when it's like, next week, Dusty Cup action, galas. I was like, I just came in. I was like, you're right.
I'm so happy.
It's a pamphlet. And he's just like, no. And I was like, it's been death in the family. No, worse. Gallus are turning up on my beloved NXT.
Like a TV show where they do really lazy exposition. Like you've got, for some reason, a giant calendar on your desk that says February 2020. And you're right, Hamlet. No, I've got to watch British Strong Style, Sitch. What's going on in your show? Well, let me tell you. And I think from here, Hamlet, heading into March and probably April, it gets better and better and better. See you tomorrow.
A bit of a double count out situation.
See you tomorrow in the office 18 months later.
Right. Do you want to say anything about this Grayson Waller effect?
Some of the worst dialogue I've heard all year.
Also.
Where's the lie? Where is the line? Is that on a line?
I think it could have been slightly better. I'm never going to give him a complete pass.
High expectations.
Metaphor backstage. In comes Lexis King. And he said, hey, come in peace. We're just going to keep going down this same road, me and you, Oro. I don't want that. You've got deep-seated trauma because of your dad. I understand. I didn't have a good relationship with mine. And, that's kind of what we got in common. Offers a handshake. Says, may the best man win out there. And Oro says, make sure you make your dad proud. I thought, what a lovely moment. We'll get to that match a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Then, to pep everyone back up again, it's time to go backstage to Hank and Tank. They got revenge on their mind. They're the first here and they're the last here. Hong Kong.
The Hong Kong's working.
Hong Kong's so
I like the Hong Kong. I like Hank and Tank.
And you like Brutus Creed's laugh as well.
Nerds.
He can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it twice in that same segment.
Vic Joseph likes a Hong Kong as well, doesn't he?
Hong Kong bugger!
Right. Another one of the goats of NXT next. The ladies are warming up backstage, and in walks Shanti the Adonis.
Lovely ladies.
He's got the rose, and he's like, ooh, who's getting the rose this week? Is it going to be you, Brindley Reese? And she's like, you mean the rose that cost you the match last week? He says, you ain't getting the rose anyway, so...
Never fancied you anyway.
I love that he's gone down to the place where everybody's having sex. He can't get a shag to save his life, so he's like, right, I need to flip reverse this psychologically. Who wants to shag me? That was your problem. You reverse psychology in an entire roster with a rose.
But then he sees freaky Tatum Paxley cutting a doll's hair or something.
Just in the locker room. And no one thinks that's weird.
Well, he does actually. He goes up and he goes, freak, eh? Me too. You don't scare me, you excite me. She says, my heart belongs to someone else. And he goes, maybe me too. But Adonisly, well done.
I saw this and went, Wilborn's gone, I love it.
Adonisly, miracles don't happen twice. And Carmen Petrovic shoots a look that I think, these two crazy kids going to get it together?
I
think they might.
Regrettably thought the exact same thing. I mean, it was pretty obvious. Yeah. They're going to have sex. Oh, you know what they're going to do? I don't know if you've noticed the pattern now. They're going to have sex, or they're going to agree to have sex at a later date through the obligatory thing that is dating. Right? And then what they're going to do is, it's going to go, let's be friends. It happens all the time. Trick and Lash just decide to be friends. What's she called? Thea Hale and Riley Osborne.
Yeah.
Just said.
Civil.
I had the thing where I was like, we had a mutual understanding, a romantic misunderstanding where, now that's clarified, let's get sucking and f***ing. Yeah. Instead, all right, well, cool, we can just now. Because I understand why you acted the way you were. Yeah. Oh, let's be friends. Where's the intercourse?
Yeah. Could they do...
It's the worst storyline in all of NXT because they're all boffing. They're all at it. The NXT Performance Center has produced at a ratio of about 50-1 more couples than WrestleMania headliners.
But they could do a vignette where they're going on a date and it's that sort of sitcom thing where he gets around the house and she's just like, yeah, I'll just be out in a minute. And she's just getting ready and he's having a bit of a nosy around the living room sort of thing. And he's like, oh, what's that? And he finds one of the swords And he cuts his knob off by mistake. And then she's like, I'll be 2 minutes. He's like, no, don't come downstairs. Like, and he's like, well, I mean, this is no use to me now. I've come here to be the shagger and I've lost my sheep dick.
I thought you were going to say he seduces her and maybe she does her entrance one week and instead of with the sword, it's with a rose. Or he cheats on her and John Wayne Bobbitt's him. Either or.
Yep. Could see that.
That's a topical thing that everyone's talking about right now, right? Right. Time for Hank and Tank versus Good Brothers. Big brawl to start.
Nice and short.
Yeah.
Tank Ledger gets over for the tag. Hank Walker comes in and cleans house. But Hank takes a superplex from Carl Anderson. Gallo follows that up by giving Tank a spine buster on top of him. They go for the magic killer, but Anderson gets pulled out of the ring. Hank counters Gallows, lifts him through a power slam, and then Tank at the same time. I think it's like a running neck breaker as he does that. 1, 2, 3, honk.
Good for them. Like
Good Brothers for doing next to nothing again.
Yeah. They're getting over Hank Attack. This is the one that's worked. This is the formula that they've found that actually has worked for them. The work's not great. The finisher looks terrible. But honk, so the rest will get there.
There's an exuberant energy about Hank and Tank that I feel I'd rather watch them be themselves and it be a little bit hot and a little bit boisterous and energetic than a million sub-Young Bucks teams in 2024.
Yes,
so
definitely.
fair play. I will also say, again, let's go 4 minutes. Imagine being Gallows and Anderson. What a life.
Yeah.
What an absolute life. And the thing is as well, it's like if contract season, affects them, Impact is still there. They'll just go to Impact.
Yeah.
And then, if they get old enough and they're not getting any younger, it's like, right, let's do a Legends deal. Mm-hmm. Set for life for doing nothing.
Smart guys.
Javon's backstage with Cedric Alexander. Says, I can't believe I'm facing Randy Orton in 2 weeks. Cedric says he's going to help him in terms of prep when AT and Dan Ander walk in and says, Theory says, Evans, you remind me of me, but you lose this Cedric, lad, eh? And Cedric says, I think you'll find Javon Evans has got a better chance of beating Randy Orton than you two do of ever re-becoming tag champs. Evans, it was a bare knuckle fight then. And they steal the bit from Raw that they did. But this time it's Javon Evans saying, oh, look, it's Kevin Owens. And they spin around.
I'd like to know specifically how Austin Theory is reminded of himself by Javon Evans. I want a list. Austin Theory, you tell me.
Vertical leap.
Yeah, what is
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you could probably sell us another the same. Otherwise, give me a full list. I want 10 things. That's what we do at What Culture.
Yeah.
Like I want 10 ways in which you're like Javon Evans because I'm not seeing 9 of them.
I don't see it.
But yeah, match later on.
Yeah.
Hate A-Town Down Under, Well, I don't hate. Strong word. I don't really feel much. Just 2 Miz's. 2 Miz's after I've seen 1 Miz for 18, 19 years?
Yeah, nearly 20 years of the Miz. 2 decades of destruction. Austin Theory.
2 decades of Wikipedia.
That's correct. Austin Theory is going to be like that. Remember the first Miz babyface where he couldn't do the figure 4 properly?
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory is going to be that babyface. It's going to be...
Isn't it? It's going to be real
just
bad.
Rubbish.
Real bad. I won't be feeling a certain kind of way.
Who other than he's got a certain corner of stands that like how he sells a stunner and think he can and he's the next Randy Orton or whatever. It's we've still got the current Randy Orton. He's only just gotten good. I don't know, this baby, I'm dreading it, actually.
Do you remember when he came back for the wedding, though, and said, don't worry, I've bought a priest with me. Well, Damien Priest, you idiot.
I'm just here for the party.
I'm here to have sex.
Yeah, that's what I hear happens down here.
Also, we were reminiscing a lot yesterday on the preview. Do you remember Leon Ruff?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere.
That belt thing was great. That was a good
Johnny
character.
Gargano hurts wheels.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was actually, there was some decent stuff,
And the old C-dub C.
Remember, hang on, that's around here somewhere, 1 second. Frankie.
Money.
Remember Robert Stone
Who?
doing...
Sorry?
Robert Stone doing karaoke of her theme. Bougie bitch, bougie bitch. And it was terrible. He loves it.
Do you remember when he was sick as well? When
in the ring.
ripped me hit in the stomach.
Yeah.
That was class. Oh.
Sick in the ring. In the empty performance centre where everything was blacked off. Like, not like we get now, like the blacked out because there was nobody there anyway. I'm sick in the ring.
She was.
3-month feud with Rhea Ripley. She lost to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. 3 months with Robert Stone. Get you one.
Right, then we got the gentleman's affair between Lexis King and Ora Mensah. Lexis King's changed man. At one point, he did shove Ora Mensah out of the ring, but that was kind of muscle memory, and he was remorseful for a split second. And then at one point, he rolls up Mensah, pops his feet on the ropes, but the pin is broken up by Lexis King, who doesn't want to win that way. Ora Mensah does, though. He puts his feet on the ropes and pins him 1, 2, 3.
I mean, you know, Lexis King is dumb, and that's part of the deal. So it's like, this is that terrible stuff where it's like, well, it's nice one, Ora Mensah. You've really outthought the thickest guy on the show. How clever does that really make you? And you're a babyface. It's just a bit off, innit?
Weird, this.
Yeah.
I am not athletic. I am not, obviously, on that basis, a professional athlete. I have not exercised regularly in, I'm telling you now, a decade. Therefore, for almost a quarter of my life, I have not exercised regularly. When I did exercise regularly, I would describe as a bit of a stretch personally, because what I did between, I want to say, 2011 and about 2014, when it got knocked on the head, people's lives change. You know, you can't get the people. You go a couple of weeks and then a couple of months without, and then it just dies. That dream dies. I used to play five-a-side football once a week between 2011 and 2014. That was the last thing I did that would vaguely classify as a regular exercise routine. I still think that if you put me in a professional wrestling 20 by 20 ring, I'd be able to get my foot on the ropes quicker than Lexis King.
Maybe he was just hesitating.
Why does he hesitate every time he does it? Why is this why it's his thing that he does and he's hopeless at it?
Around here somewhere.
He does it. That's his. Why give him it's a rib?
Scrambling around in the dark in the brightest lit room in all of WWE.
Yes.
The NXT Performance Center.
He's a human rib.
Yeah. Moving on. We head to what appears to be some sort of dingy warehouse, and I'll do the whole thing. The family have gathered for a training montage.
Oh my god!
With Tony D ahead of his title match in a couple of weeks. They're all
They're
there.
in Chesterfield.
They're doing it in Chesterfield.
What if Tony D wins the title in Chesterfield?
I mean, you're going to be looking up flights at this rate.
Yeah. Not going to be short of tickets.
Yeah.
You could say that to Anna Louise. I'm just going to Chesterfield. Let's go to Chesterfield.
WhatsApp from the building.
Okay, Adam. Chesterfield, USA, more like.
Too late, I'm on the plane.
So they're all there. All the gang's there.
Out the window.
See you later, guys. It's like left me with your firstborn son.
How'd you get through to the departure lounge? You can't do that anymore. You need a ticket.
Well, have you got a private plane like someone we know?
Yes.
Get on the tarmac,
Get
can't
you there
you?
and back,
Why
guy.
have we never taken advantage of that when we're pricing and costing up these trips to
point.
to WrestleMania at like extortionate expense?
We'll take the L on that one.
Should we do it next year?
Yeah. Just speak to we've got a connection.
Stacks turns to Tony and
The
says,
advert on Raw for the pre-sale. It's in the new Vegas WrestleMania commercial.
Oh my god!
I must have skipped it.
Oh God.
I did, unfortunately, watch Raw.
They've updated the logo.
Because I was basically, one of the kids was ill off school Tuesday, and he didn't tell me he wasn't feeling his best. He's great now. He didn't tell me he wasn't feeling his best until after I'd watched it.
Whew. What relief. You might have missed it otherwise.
Shut up, man. So it's the getting up early unnecessarily that I resented, even though I do struggle to get back to sleep. Didn't hate it at all. I thought Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker was inordinately affecting. I loved that subversion of the cold open they do now, which just makes it feel like such an event. Everyone's descending on the event. And then the Strowman Reed stuff was class.
Tom's in a shark cage.
Yeah.
See the Godzilla trailer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Fed's cooking.
Yep.
I don't necessarily know if I like the cuisine, but they are cooking.
Yeah.
So Stacks turns
I am
to
39.
turns to Tony.
We're on our 30s.
Fact.
Stacks turns to Tony. Gee,
That's absolutely hopeless.
All these years.
now that you said on taking on Oba, we need to do things the old school way. Oba ain't a monster. He's a man, Tony. So be more man than him. Go get him. And we see a brilliant compilation. He's doing chin-ups. He's doing a rope climb. And then this intersplice, this footage of Oba destroying Tony. And suddenly he has another crisis of confidence. And he flops down to the floor. And you think, oh, no. Oh, come on, Tony. And he fires back up. There's this, the speech by the Wiz last week echoing in his ears.
What does it sound like?
You can do it, Tony. Use the fear, or whatever she said. I can't remember. And he's smashing cinder blocks, and he's running. He's doing sit-ups, and he's pushing the car. Then I think it's Luca Crisino says,
Of course, you know, pushing the car.
"Oh yeah,
Pushing the car.
He wasn't my car.
Like that button.
okay." Then I think it's Luca who says, "Just one more bit of training. Just one more bit of training. Give it to me." And it's just this massive dude in a boxing ring. And he fights him. He's losing, and he gets back in it, and he beats him up, drops him. Yay! He's done it. Boxing as well. That's not what he's been doing.
CM Punk backstage watching this going, do you invent all this yourself? That's it. Where'd you come up with all these ideas?
And then he walks over, wiping his brow, and Stack says, "Still got it. Guys, the Don is back." And Tony says, "Oh, that's right. Now let's go back home to Chicago and get that contract signed."
Yeah, good stuff. Fun to watch this.
Yeah.
I miss Tony having that fire in his eyes.
You know what?
Eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
You're right, actually. I'm going to go and look up what tickets are to get to Chesterfield now, actually.
Just do it after.
No, yeah, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out. And
Randy Orton's proven to not be drawing, so you've got loads of time to get these tickets.
That's all good, but flights are a different matter. So I'm going to check that out, and you talk
We've
extensively.
literally just had a conversation how we're not going to need to
tell
book
me
flights anymore.
how
because we-
great Tony is. Bye.
I don't really have much to say about this other than it's Rocky. My dear friend likes it, so I'm happy for him.
Yep.
I watched this going, Will Bourne would like this.
Yeah. I mean, he's never not liked the Tony D segment, full
Elbow,
stop.
Sorry, my elbow's playing up.
Still giving you bother.
For about 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years of elbow strife. I should really go and see a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit afraid of doctors.
Oh, yeah.
Are you afraid of doctors?
No, I've got no issues. I just don't go much, though, to be fair. So maybe there's a low-lying fear with it. Because I avoid going unless I desperately need to. And I almost never need to.
Is there anything where you think, maybe I should get that checked out, but you just don't?
Not really. Pretty lucky in that respect. Never broke a bone and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes! I am in trouble with the door there. You open and close it. What the hell am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know what you're doing. Hey, Staxer! How's it going?
Pretty goddamn good, huh? How you guys doing? Looking forward to the debut on the C-Dub next week, huh?
Can't wait. Cannot wait. Chicago, you going home?
Can't wait, hey. 1 week to go after that for Tony winning them. This time in 2 weeks, Tony be champ again.
How does it feel to be the most famous wrestler to ever come from Chicago?
Pretty goddamn good. I seen a lot of talk recently after that phenomenal thing on SmackDown that WWE creates cinema.
I really wish you could have done this yesterday when I wasn't in Stax.
Well, what's the deal with cinema anyway, Sidge?
Cinema is a medium, also referred to as film, in which fictional stories are played out on something called the silver screen, celluloid, recently digital. But cinema is basically, films, but you can use cinematic in the correct context. Has nothing to do with what WWE does, which is really closer to theater, Stacks. Then it's not cinema. It really isn't cinema. It's theater. Okay, if it's cinematic, it draws on like the use of imagery to tell like a really nice story, but often using imagery and the quality of that imagery, not bad exposition. That's not cinema. That's bad television. The Godfather cinema, do you know this?
So I've heard.
The Bloodline is not. It's not the right medium. It is not the right analogy. It's not cinematic, nor is it cinema. I really don't care that much. I'm sorry. I don't. Just Wilborn, who's not here again, just winds me up with it sometimes, you know. He knows how to push my buttons.
Hey, love this thing here.
You know what it is? That's what the deal with it at some point is.
With this?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, absolutely. I'll remember that for next week or something. You know the thing with cinema and films is, you know, I actually filmed my missus wanking me out with her toes the other day. Got some decent footage. That's all I'm saying, okay? 3 jokes, 3 questions for you. What do you call someone who films spices?
It's just gotten really hot there, isn't it? You know, like, it's going to have to like bring it all the way back down.
Because usually what I do is I go home and tell my kids.
Yeah.
You call these some jokes suitable kids?
Can't tell them that one.
Yeah.
What do you call someone who films spices, Siggy? Oh, picture that.
Films spices.
You know spices because you've all your cooking and that. So, like, what are the...
Right, so let's go through some spices.
Thyme. It's a spice. Parmesan.
It's a herb, really. That's a cheese. So, 2 wrong. Out of 2.
2 for 2.
Right, okay. So films spices. So you want to think of a spice, and it could be ground in a spice, realistically, even though it's more of a herb. A pun on director or auteur. So there's like...
A tarragon of virtue. Tarragon of spice?
Garam masala.
Right.
Is there anything in... like a famous director as opposed to the word director. So like Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spiceberg.
David Lynch.
David Spice.
You want to think of a type of spice.
I really don't know spices. Is parsley a spice?
It's weird 'cause you can, I don't know
Picture
how.
those
To be
jars,
honest, I'm
huh?
not Gordon Ramsay, right? So I don't know why I'm defensive. Right down for Wilborn. So I don't really. They're kind of like herbs and spices. Like thyme's a herb, coriander's a herb, but you can get them in like a dust version.
Yeah.
Which does that count as a spice or is it a ground
You
herb?
put them on a spice rack. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't really know. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. So give us some more directors. Alfred Hugecack, of course.
Alfred Peck, I can't remember.
Martin Score Spicy.
Scoville, chili powder.
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 Is Fennel anything? Because Emerald Fennel is the director. Is anything in fennel? Is that food?
Fennel? It's
Is that a spice?
I think it's more of a veg or a herb. You can grind it into a fennel seeds. I don't know if that would count as a spice. I've got fennel seeds in my spice, right?
Yeah, that's direct. It's probably not the answer.
Emerald fennel.
Isn't that right? What do you call someone who films spices? A cinematographer. Huh?
That's good.
What'd you think? Question joke number 2. Why was the Jazz movie rated R?
It's got Jazz's pornography.
And it's got like full penetration with an erect penis.
It's called the Jazz Singer.
What's it set up again?
Why was the Jazz movie rated R?
Because it gave me the horn.
Ooh.
Because it gave people the horn.
I was trying to think of improvised beats, but that's it, yeah.
Gave people the horn.
Good night, right?
Ah, God damn it.
Why was the Jazz movie rated R? Too much sex and violence. Huh? Sex and violence. Good joke with the kids. Speaking of which, question joke number 3.
They don't know what that is yet.
Yeah.
So no.
Have you seen the movie about the guy who can't stop crying and masturbating?
Can't have the word cry and it can't have the word masturbate, but it could have tears and
Tears.
wine.
Tears. Tears of Heaven. Because that's pretty good, isn't it? Ejaculating.
Manipulate yourself to wish.
Tears.
Tears on my fellow.
What's the setup against Stags?
Have you seen the movie you got the guy who can't stop crying and masturbating?
I don't think I've seen that one, Stacks.
Think of some films and then some puns about Jack in it.
Pump Friction. Brain Spotting, because it's like when you're showing brain.
Jesus Christ. Empire of the Cum.
Where's the crying?
It's a tragedy.
Okay.
I think. I've never seen it. You're crying at the tragedy.
Jizz Miserable.
Le Jizzerable.
Le Jizzerable.
Les Jizz. Les
Right,
Miz.
better than the actual punchline, to be honest, guys. Have you seen the movie about the guy who can't stop crying and masturbating? People are saying it's a real tear jerker. See you later, guys.
Bye, Stacks.
Left my laptop up here, didn't I? Oh, what am I like? Anyway, where are we up to?
I can't remember. Tony D's training vignette.
Oh, yeah, what do you think?
Stacks.
Oh, you're joking.
No, you missed Stacks.
I want to talk to him, actually. I was loving the Roman Cody thing. I want to see what he thought of...
He was asking about cinema.
yeah, well, I'm not surprised when we're talking about that. So.
It felt like it was more relevant yesterday when it should have been asked.
Thing was, Stacks
Did he
was
say he was saving it for me?
No, he didn't, but he did say that with it being National Piano Day yesterday, that would have been stupid.
It was
to drop
National
in.
Piano Month, so you could have done it
Oh,
earlier
yeah.
in the month.
That's a good point. He really could have done. Could have moved things around. I wasn't very thoughtful of Staxy.
When's... is it the 30th of Tuesday?
No, first.
Is it? Okay. Oh, whatever. You could have just had to, I don't know why Stacks had to do the cinema thing today.
Rich Holland versus Riley Osborne.
Short and sweet.
Oh, Osborne. I loved him flying over the top onto Rich Holland, who was staring at his hands during his entrance. Osborne really goes after him.
Mama surveillance.
He sends Holland crashing through the barricade.
What's happened to me?
Osborne goes to come off the top with some big high-risk move. Holland puts his knees up, but Osborne lands on his feet and counters the counter. However, in the end...
Chess.
Holland catches Osborne with the Redeemer and gets the 1-2-3. Keeps the beat down going afterwards as as Thea Hale screams for Ridge to stop.
Jesus Christ, you like the scream.
Screamed a lot here, didn't she?
Yeah.
A lot, like too distracting.
Riley tries to fight back but gets thrown to the steps. Ridge tries, like he did to Duke Bloody Hudson, to kill him with a piece of the guardrail. But in flies Riley Osborne. And Riley comes off the steps with a takedown, and refs have to come in and break it all up.
A committed little brawl, I suppose. Like, but you can't do this sort of stuff at the moment. Like, this is the company that's doing Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, so you just cannot do it. And it was like down with the Sidgwick levels of screaming from Thea Hale, and I get that she's supposed to be more stressed than ever, but
I don't believe your performance.
not much about. Still on the board.
Yeah, it's got to be on here somewhere. What did we call it, Sid?
Was this Mark Lee Willis or John Harrison?
I can't
With
remember.
our
This one.
musical friends?
Down with the Sidgwick.
I don't know which one, or maybe it was a different one, but get checked out psychologically.
That like thumping, that's legitimately frightening.
Yeah.
Like that. Sounds
Also,
like-
It's good sound design.
Down, down, down with the Sidgwick sounds like Josh Brown saying it as well.
maybe he did. We got to record on the.
He lent his voice to it.
Why would it be Josh Brown?
I don't know, but it sounds like Josh's voice saying down, 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 down with the Sidgwick. So maybe Josh made it.
I don't think he did.
But in betting, anything else you want to say about? I wonder exactly where he goes next. I assume.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
You know?
Chase you.
Teachable moment! Teachable moment!
Nothing to say. thought the match was mediocre, and I don't care about the characters, and I don't believe in the characters. And in fact, at this point, I find the characters extremely irritating.
Tell them what we found out about Vic Joseph yesterday, and another former NXT commentator.
So you coined Joe Testo recently the Ickless Mauro Ronaldo.
That was me.
It was class.
And he was
Monday.
excellent on Raw again. And then we sort of
Pesciator.
we joked a bit, didn't we, about like, Christ, Vic and Mauro in the booth. That'd be some booth, wouldn't it? And then like 10 minutes later, I stumbled across that exact booth. They called, completely forgot about this, they called Pete Dunne versus Walter at TakeOver New York together. Because
they?
Joseph was representing.
We weren't there, that's why.
We were in the building, obviously, and NXT UK. So it was that desk was, I play a game, Vic, Mauro, and...
Beth Phoenix.
Nope.
Nigel?
Bingo!
Yes!
Grand Slams, Nigel McGuinness.
Wow. Oh, good
What
stuff.
was the NXT and USA commentary team? Was it Mauro?
On USA, when it first started, it was Mauro, Beth, and Percy Watson.
Oh, God.
And
They
he
hate
just-
each other.
he got sick of his life, didn't he? Like, yeah. And then I think
the video
Wade,
game thing where he was like, it's like straight out of a video game, and Mauro was like, I just said that, basically.
Yeah. Sometimes Mauro would be like,
Percy was like,
he did that thing where like he's obviously taken the time to prepare a very long reference full of puns and wordplay based on like some pop culture
Raging
references,
Against
right?
the Machine, like,
yeah. But he'd go so long that like Percy Watson would reasonably think, oh, you finished. And then he'd say something about the match that had been happening for 5 minutes while Mauro had been speaking. And as I was saying, Percy, and then he'd get back on with it. Sorry.
Big announcement, though, as if this can get any better. The Miz announces that Tony D and Oba Femi are going to be guests on Miz TV next week. And yes, it is going to be awesome.
Yeah. That's good. That's 3 people I want to see in the ring. That is. I want to see that.
Well, it's
in Chicago.
So wait a second. Miz's week next week is get involved in Last Monster Standing and then presumably getting involved with Oba Femi on Tuesday.
Stick it on the Sidgwick Punk Conspiracy list. Yeah, Chicago, your big night. Miss TV.
yeah.
What of it?
Yeah. Oh, you like Mike?
Miss TV in the All-State. You're good now, aren't you?
You like
You've
Mike?
got over all that sort of stuff, haven't you?
You like Mike, don't you?
Shook hands with him, if anything.
Oba gets asked during the press conference about Miss TV and says, I've got nothing to say.
He's going to deck mates. He's going to throw
He said
mates.
he's going to get squat. You said yesterday he's going to get, because now Karrion Kross is really crediting him. And he says monsters come in all shapes and sizes on Raw.
A bit too big for his boots, thinking he's a monster.
He's squaring up to Braun Strowman on. What the bloody hell do you think you're doing, eh? Now he's going to be used as a weapon in Last Monster Standing, and then he's going to go, right, okay, well, I took my licks there, but time to be a professional on NXT. Oh, answer my bloody questions, will you? Oh, God.
I'm into it. The Miz and Stax interacting probably for the first time ever.
Oh my God.
No problems with this soundboard today, isn't there?
And the door.
Yeah.
And the door.
And the door, of course, yeah.
You wouldn't know about that. Stax had trouble getting in the door. I'd say, of course. But we've not explained that situation to you.
The door was doing it before the record,
Right.
Yeah.
which you were there for.
I must have forgotten myself.
Wesley and Zach Wentz are set up for a...
Hey, head. Hey, no, I'll kick your ass. So edgy.
GG. Huh?
GG not head.
Ever heard of it?
Loser stuff.
Awful loser stuff.
I'll kick your ass.
Hey, did you ever shit a before? Don't blame us. You'd only had to recite it and add some to your count. We've saved you the job. Everybody understands what we've just reviewed.
Keep my
Hey,
fiance...
not much.
Keep my fiance's name out your effing mouth, said at one point.
It's lame. This is really lame. You pointed out this morning when we were talking about this.
It's a copy of a copy. This isn't greatness that echoes greatness. This is them copying Riddle and Seth Rollins, which was them copying John Jones and Daniel Cormier, which also wasn't meant to be broadcast. Like the
kind of act. I think the match will be all right.
The punches were bad as well.
Yeah, kind of act.
This was the bit where
EastEnders level punching.
this is the bit where we got the class recap of the best moments of NXT on the USA Network.
You never never change. Loved it.
Rhea, Charlotte, Bianca, Keith Lee, yeeting Adam Cole.
Oh God, that was goated. That was awesome. That spot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was
The fireball was on there.
beating. I was like, that wasn't good.
No, that wasn't good.
The fireball, that was on there.
Whoa! This contract is on fire.
That Metallica promo.
Oh my god.
You love
you
that.
love that
You
one.
love that. It's like the clock. And carrying cross, front TikTok, carrying cross.
He freaking got me yesterday because he was like, yeah, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? And I said the name. And then he goes, yeah, kind of looks like a Jack Simon Peck. I was like,
Talking about Diamond Mine.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes, who we were keen to put over yesterday.
My son's
Legend.
jacked.
He is.
Do you like the jacked James I sent you last night, Sidge? In case he was still poorly and you were feeling blue. There's a DM in there just waiting for you. There's another jacked
think I've seen
James
it.
from the wrestling business.
I was like, I've done a lot of washing yesterday. So I was like, I should probably do something. I'm just in the house. Because I'm all right. I should probably do something. I was like, oh, there's a cupboard. And I'm not good enough to really do. And it's actual work. I'll just do loads of washing instead.
Yeah.
So I've done something.
Hang it up right.
Always. You know me.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. The Way, Tommy Ciampa.
Selective radiator usage as well, now that it's a little bit cold.
Yeah.
And you can't really hang them up on the line. So you don't want I'm not made of money. So you don't want the radiator on all day. And it's at that weird in-between stage where you don't actually want it on all day. December. I'll be money Mike. I'll be made of that much money and it'll just be on the whole time. But I do selective radiator usage, just enough a little blast and then, get some clothes on there. Get some freshly washed clothes on there.
Some pants in the morning. Treat yourself.
Heated era. Telling you, it's the fanciest thing I own. Yes, you'll be eating meals out of hollowed out bread, but it's worth it. Worth the spend. Eat cheaper. Eat quicker. That's what I've always said. Always.
Was it when it was me, you and Phil talking in the office, wasn't it? And I said, what did you have to eat?
What? Because
He said, have you heard about this? Tell him about your thing, your sandwich you were telling me about.
oh yeah, I don't think this is going to shock you as much as some of my other food takes. You've heard of like a pie butty, haven't you? You can put like a pie or a steak baker in a sandwich and it's pretty good.
I would like to try that one.
I would,
It works.
same.
It works.
A Wigan thing.
Well, it's called a Wigan kebab because they love pies in Wigan, but like I had a steak bake sandwich at uni, for example. Like, so I think it's fairly common. Take this already impressive feat of engineering, and what do I always say? Put it in between two bits of bread. Like, makes everything better. Yeah, so what happened was, a bit of law, Friday, Murray and Phil got back in the office with Burger Kings, and I was already in a foul mood because I had to leave the office early on Friday to go and pick one of my kids up from school. I like being here. And like, I love my kids, but like, it was school time. They should have been in school. And I had to leave early. And they just turned up with this Burger King. I was like, I'm not going to have time to get one. Maybe I could order one on the train to get delivered to the house in this tiny window I've got. Because I just really wanted a Burger King.
I remember telling you should have fed your kids Burger King as a treat.
Yeah, I didn't think through any of that. And the train was
I
delayed.
didn't think of the kid.
Train was delayed, so couldn't have the Burger King.
You could have toast.
Yeah, it was probably toast. But it's been on my mind ever since. So yesterday, I was I'm going to go get myself a Burger King. And then Phil showed me the Burger King app, where they'll sometimes have like random special offers on, and they did. Lucky old me, $1.99 for a bacon double cheeseburger. I was trying to like put it together with like other meal offerings.
Fries.
No, it just wasn't happening. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. It's close to payday, and I haven't got much left. Shouldn't really be getting it. Should make my lunch at home, if anything. But so I got the $1.99 burger. I was like, I'll just go to Poundland and get a drink. So Wilborn asked, what did you have for dinner in the end? Because he saw me drinking my cherry Pepsi Max.
Yeah.
Quid. So I had my bacon double cheeseburger, my Pepsi Max cherry. I was in Poundland, wasn't I, Sidge? So I had to buy 3 Kinder Buenos for the way back.
And he had one before he got back to the office.
Yeah.
6 of them. Basically, it's 6 in it, let's be honest. You say 3, but you can get 2 in there. It's just to make them in those like taped together things.
I know.
You're not going to buy them separately, are you? You're not going to eat them separately, are you?
Guess not.
So big montage of the 5 years of NXT.
I watched this. I've watched this twice already because I watching the show and then I saw the whole thing uploaded on Twitter. There have been matches that I will never watch again in my life, and I think I'll probably watch this video package again later. What a unique 5-year period for a wrestling show.
Yeah. Just randomly like Cody Rhodes, Joe Hendry, Wale, Tyrese Halliburton, but then also like Finn Balor, remember him? He was quite good here, wasn't he? Anyway, we go to Ava's office. She's checking out the same. She's Rockstar and general manager of NXT, of course. And Lola asks why she's brought her into the office. And Jade is there as well. And they both, what bloody hell are you doing here? And Ava says, you both got issues with fatal influence. So you're going to team up against them. And Lola says, kick it. And they argue. And Ava says, you got a week to figure it out. And Jade says, I'm not wasting my time here. I'm going to go and find fatal influence. And Lola says, not without me, you're not.
Like, good.
They're going to be an incredible tag team, aren't they?
So angry, but unnecessary. They're on the same page. They can coexist. We know this.
I like them as a duo. Really like that. Time to get spooky, though, because Wendy Chu and Rosemary took on Carmen Petrovich and Brindley Reese, although, don't worry, it's also spooky and sexy.
Yeah.
Because it looks like Petrovich and Reese they're not necessarily going to win, but you can see them building to a hot tag when Reese is in trouble. But out comes Ashanti the Adonis with a rose. Seems to intimate he's going to give it to a lady on the front row.
He's upset by this.
And Carmen Petrovich is annoyed and confronts Adonis. That means Reese can't tag out, and Rosemary hits her with the as above, so below, and the spooky team get the win.
Yeah.
Just a few more weeks till Halloween Havoc.
Horror and romance in the same genre. And you say it's not Cinemessage. Could they have a Halloween date?
Oh my God.
I hate them all.
Well, let's move on to someone you're a big...
Just stop wrestling by the rules. Like, you're a demon or something.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 count, but I stop. Just there's that move where it's like, when it's like the tarantula adjacent thing, and then the face. Oh, sorry, ref. What was I thinking? Demon.
She's floating to the ring and running the ropes.
Let's
Real bad.
cheer up with one of your favourites. CM Punk is talking to Sol Ruka when Ethan Page comes up and Sol says, I can't stand him, and leaves. Page isn't happy. Punk's the guest ref. He's seen him be a referee. Doesn't need Punk's drama. Punk says, I'm not going to let anyone cheat. I won't let you low-blow anyone behind the ref's back. Or let someone win by falling backwards accidentally on top of someone. If Page is the guy and wins, Punk will raise his hand and put the title around his waist. But if not, that's too bad.
Yeah, fine. Like I say, I think it's been an all right build to this title match. It's going to feel big on the night.
CM Punk, in under a year, has done 3 separate special guest referee things.
That's how good he is at it.
No complaints from me. Fatal influence at the press conference.
What's the third one? Can only think of Glasgow and Chicago. What's the third one?
It's SummerSlam. He didn't do it.
Oh, sorry,
but
because
he was involved.
Special guest referee.
It's a fair fight.
Fallon says, I bet you want to know which the two of us are going to be representing Fatal Influence. I'll bet it's Fallon Henley and JC Jane.
Yeah, I think probably.
JC also, though, says Kelani Jordan doesn't deserve to be champion, but out come Lola and Jada. They found the press conference. Officials have to separate them, obviously.
How did they find the ongoing press conference in the press conference room?
And the final match of NXT in the USA Network is A-Tan Dan Ander versus Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. Evans isolated after Cedric Alexander gets sent into the barricade. Beaten up, but gets back into it. Evans and Alexander hit a dive to the outside for our final break of the show. When we come back, Cedric's being worked over, but Evans gets a great hot tag, runs wild, another dive outside the ring. Springboard sets up a near fall. They spill to the outside. Waller sends Cedric into the ring steps.
Ring taps.
But really, £300. But here comes tag champs, Axiom.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Fraser goes to confront Waller, but Axiom tries to stop him. Waller shoves Axiom into Fraser, and they both bump to the floor. Then Evans goes to the top, but Fraser gets involved. And as Axiom says, don't do that, because Fraser's up on the apron, Axiom pulls him off. And in doing that, Fraser hits the top rope. That causes Evans to lose his balance. Well, Waller hits him with his finisher. Theory comes in, hits his finisher. 1, 2, 3.
And we see who Nathan Fraser and Axiom get to face next in Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. That could be pretty good, actually.
Could be all right, yeah.
Javon Evans, I'd say this every week, I just love watching him wrestle. NXT is both awful and quite good at a talent development show now. but strictly only if the wrestlers are already pretty great. Because I was thinking about Javon Evans and how much I've enjoyed watching him all the time. Like, he's a wrestler I genuinely look forward to when he's advertised as wrestling. And I was trying to think of like a like for like. And the best I come up with was Nick Wayne in terms of youth and the type of things they're known for, I guess. And I just think this weird show that
is way better.
As Cedric points out, often does not even resemble a wrestling show, is developing Javon Evans better than AEW is developing Nick Wayne.
Yeah, by
and
far.
it's like, I am investing more and more in him.
Yeah.
He builds and builds. He's losing loads, and it's not mattering because he's featured and he matters, and one day the opportunity will come, like the pay-per-view main event that he was the outsider and all that sort of stuff. It's like he's a success story this year, and it's not just rooted in the fact that he's an obviously very exciting talent. Friggin' Randy Orton in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait for that match.
I think it'll suck.
You reckon?
I was a little bit excited about it, and now I don't know. I think Randy might get the hump.
Orton's bigger than ever. He's going to use that hump that's growing on his back because every bit of him is swelling, and he's going to do an even bigger version of the springboard RKO that did Seth at 31. Like, Evans is going to hit the friggin' light and then come down.
Too late.
Yeah.
He does that when he's way.
Yeah.
Is it Mark Henry?
Toe touch leapfrog.
I don't think he's doing that anymore.
Can't even get the sticker off his back.
Trick Williams is interviewed at the press conference. He says, look, I just get the job done, control my emotions, and beat Ethan Page, basically. And then, to close the show, Byron Saxton's in the ring because they're doing the live press conference in the arena for Roxanne Perez and Julia. There's questions from social media and reporters to ask. Julia's asked if she's more impressed or intimidated with Roxy's reign, but Roxy immediately interrupts and says, "Oh, I see. You're assuming I'm just..."
Well, that's that question. Extra. First name extra.
She says, "Oh, just you assuming Julie's just going to take the title." Julie speaks in Japanese. Funaki's there. He translates. And she says, "Look, Roxanne has said she's the prodigy, but her time is now up. I saw she came to NXT at 20 years old, carried the brand, but I came to NXT to become women's champion. I became the beautiful madness by creating my opportunities and in Chicago. I'll show Roxanne not only is it a new era, but it's time that she passes the torch to me and hopefully moves up to the main roster." might have mistranslated that line, actually. Roxanne's asked, how is this match is different from any match? Roxanne says she was a Julia fan before anyone was Julia fans. Get behind. Former Q. I've stood and watched probably every match she's had in Japan. Ditto.
The OTG, the one true Julia fan.
Wonder if our paths would ever cross. This is a dream match for Julia, that is. Julia never steps in the ring with the quality I have. She came to WWE looking for me. My title is the only one that matters, and Julia knows that. That's why she came looking for me. NXT's entering a new era, and the new era, and the only person that deserves to hold it is me. Julia asks if Roxanne wonders what happens if she beats her, and Roxanne says, probably goes to the main roster. Julia gets asked if the buzz around her is making her somewhat overconfident. She says, "No, I'm feeling good. The move to America has been incredible. Everything's new, but what's not new, I'm still the most feared wrestler in the world. NXT is going to feel the beautiful madness." And then we suddenly hear a voice. Wait a second, that's not Roxanne Perez. That's not Julia. That's not Funaki or Byron Saxton. That's not one of the journalists. Who the hell's that? It's Stephanie Vaquer. She crashes the press conference via satellite and says, "How are you all feeling when I'm going to be basically the one waiting for you on the other side of this title match?" What an end to the show.
Pretty exciting. Roxanne Perez, when she was cycling through the last of the challenges that weren't Stephanie Vaquer, Julia was saying, "Is it going to be Julia? Is it going to be Stephanie Vaquer?" And
Really cool twist, this.
they've done a nice way of, like, I'm not saying they've used Julia as a distraction from Stephanie Vaquer, because realistically it's all of the above, isn't it? But it was quite nice how they've inserted her at this exact moment, because you were like, huge match next week. Huge match straight after it. Again, it's all about that momentum.
End of the world, and also end of the world after that.
It's always how wrestling shows should be booked. But especially when they've got the CW momentum and the launching of new champions and all that sort of stuff. All jokes aside, Roxanne Perez probably will be done in NXT after this. And you're just showing everybody one more big match straight afterwards with a cool reveal like this.
I like this. Just more bang for your buck. Cool stuff. More cool stuff. Very good. I'd be lying if I said that it was incredibly compelling television, the actual press conference component of it. But it's really cool that they did it. Really, really, really cool. I've always been in support of this sort of thing. Not an amazing execution, but a really cool thing that they actually did it.
Very excited to see what happens next week when they debut on the C-Dub. But let us know your thoughts on this episode in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Our instant reactions to the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary is available as a podcast right now. And as is the AEW Dynamite preview. But for now, this is about the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.